What did you think the machine was? Did you think it was a typewriter? Did you think it was a stapler? Like Rage Against the washing machine? Did you think it was the washing machine? If you thought it was the washing machine, well then yeah, I can understand why now this is kind of confusing. Like now at this moment in time, it's like, oh, so that's not what the machine literally was. It's a metaphor. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not about that. I'm actually kind of with the machine. I want the machine to keep going. Tingle, absolute legend. Please enjoy. New Tingler, conservative, pounded by the realization that protest music he grew up with does not actually support his current hateful ideology, out now on Amazon for all Patreon tiers. Chuck Tingle, as you probably know, has a long and incredible career making literature surrounding sometimes the love and sexuality of metaphors, concepts, inanimate objects, and utilizing this very unique form of art to combine, again, the tingling, erotic nature of, the literature with very creative use of metaphors and comparisons. Yeah, compare and contrast. And when I saw this, this wasn't the first version of the story I'm about to tell you that I saw. I had already seen a bit of people getting mad, especially in relation to Tim Pool and his understanding of Rage Against the Machine. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know Rage Against the Machine. It slaps. It's really good music. It's powerful. I'll DMCA myself right now just to wait. If I chiptune it, it's going to be way less. Okay, here we go. Now, here's the thing. And by the way, thank you and shout out to 8-Bit Universe for this remixing of Killing in the Name of in chiptune. It's quite nice. So if you grew up with Rage, like I did, I fucking loved Rage. I loved music. It was pretty slamming, pretty metal, pretty fucking incredible. Good fusion of genres together into a very powerful message. But here's the important part. The message. See, like, I also read the lyrics. To me, it wasn't just a series of sounds. I wasn't just like, ooh, neat. Yeah, I like the way these sounds sound. They're interesting. This composition, this orchestration of noise. It's quite pleasant to me. That wasn't basically the end all of my appreciation of the music. I also there's a lot of times when I find artists who I absolutely love where I'm like, I want to know more about this. What are they all about? What's the message? What's this song about? Sometimes it's neat to know what the purpose of art is in order to appreciate the art. I mean, fundamentally, I think that's what we're getting at right now. And it turns out that right-wingers didn't. It turns out that the right-wingers just like the sounds. So they love the sounds. They love all the sounds, the dark side of the moon. They're quite taken with the experience that it is a transcendental experience to listen to that entire album start to finish in its own setting, even without interruption. It's incredible. I highly recommend it, especially with an enhancement of some kind. But it's also weird that everyone's mad now at the fact that Roger Waters is anti-fascist, that he parodies fascism, that he critiques fascism. Like right now, it's kind of like a lot of right-wingers like, whoa, wait, what? You're anti-Hitler? See, I thought you were dressing as Hitler because you were pro-Hitler. I thought this was a Hitler like enthusiast experience. Well, what is going on here? I'm not sure how I feel about this now. I don't like it anymore. And now the same thing is happening with Tom Morello and Tim Pool. Tom Morello does this. German saying, if 9 people sit down at a table with one Nazi without protest, there are 10 Nazis at the table. Not controversial, I would think. I think it's true. That's why you gotta call out the fash. Unless you are fash. Because if you are fash, then this is insulting or somehow offensive to you. And oh boy, not a great sign seeing what the replies are on this tweet, or seeing the amount of people in the replies just losing their fucking minds. Just being like, wait, what? Are you against Nazis? The fuck? Tom! Feed the poor, fight the power, rock the fuck out. Yeah, Tom Morello, as well as every member of Rage. Fucking, did you think Zach De La Rocca is like pro-fascism? Like, were you hoping one day you would meet and he would sit down at a table with you in your like fantasy of fantasies, and he would be like, "So the Nazis are all right," and then you'd be like, "Oh, cool, yeah, me too, bruh. Yeah, brofist. This is amazing. This is so cool." No, listen to the lyrics. Just like have them in front of you. Just go to lyrics.com, put the and then read what the songs are about. Yeah, that's what the songs are about. Yeah, it should come as a surprise to no one. Like, and by the way, maybe this is also indicative of how far the right have gone so quickly, and how extreme they become, where all of a sudden, like, the very concepts of Rage Against the Machine being against the machine is offensive. What did you think the machine was? Did you think it was a typewriter? Did you think it was a stapler? Like Rage Against the washing machine? Did you think it was the washing machine? If you thought it was the washing machine, well then yeah, I can understand why now this is kind of confusing. Like now at this moment in time, it's like, oh shit. So that's not what the machine literally was. It's a metaphor. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not about that. I'm actually kind of with the machine. I want the machine to keep going. Yeah, the machine benefits me. Like I have a pretty decent real estate business. You know, I was selling some homes, being able to develop some duplexes here and there. It's been nice. I have a couple vacation homes as well. I'm enjoying those too. The machine is actually working out pretty decent. So I think I'm gonna rage with it. To be totally honest with you, I'm kind of liking the whole setup. Well, yeah, I know it does affect some people. It does marginalize some communities, and I understand that there's got to be a lot of poors to have a few of me's. I get that part. Yeah, but see, we'll see. No, I'm for the poors being a lot of, and I'm against me not being a billionaire. That's the part. Yeah, so I'm pro machine. We're team machine. Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty cool. This post isn't even calling out anyone specific, yet the paid blue checkmarks are all losing their minds in the replies. This is true, by the way. And then in comes Tim Pool. Matt, we hung out for like an hour and a half after the show, shooting the shit, took pictures with us, shook hands. My friends are pissed because now I'm a communist. Tim, what do you think is going on, Tim? I have been in your home. I have sat down inside it. You have given me woke chocolate. All right? It's true. That's a real story. You gave me your woke chocolate. I know it's anti-woke chocolate, but I'm sorry. It's got pronouns. Okay? It's woke chocolate. Yeah. And you also allowed a queer amongst your midst. Yeah, you didn't know that either. Maybe it was a queer in disguise. I know I'm super queer coded, which is pretty wild. And that's really a testament to how fucking intense society is writ large. Another discussion for another day. Tim, you surround yourself with white nationalists. If you are not a white supremacist, if you are not a Christian fascist, if you are not a neo-Nazi, then when you have neo-Nazis, Christian fascists, any of these people on your show, you gotta be like, you're bad. You gotta point at them and be like, you're bad. I brought you on the show to say you're bad. I brought you on the show to say you suck. That's why you're here. Not tell me more. Not like what are some of your ideas? What do you got cooking? Oh yeah, okay, interesting. Okay, so I'm not totally on board, you know, like when Ye came on and then he was trying to do that whole anti-Semitic stuff, and you're like, well, I don't feel exactly the same way you do about the Jews, so this is an awkward spot for us to be in. You could actually bring him on and be like, it's really troubling, deeply troubling how you're making all these anti-Semitic comments right now. And I understand that you have a very large platform, and it's one of the reasons why, of course, I am humbled to have you on my show, for sure. But why are you doing that? Why are you doing that with your platform? Unless your idea was to bring that person on to normalize some of that stuff, right? Because, like, yeah, I have a lot of guests on my show. If I was bringing guests on my show intentionally, and it's non-confrontational, it's because I want to promote their beliefs. It's because that individual most likely has things that I agree with, and so I want to give them a platform. I want to amplify their message because I also believe in that message, and I think they haven't had as much of a voice. I have a privilege. This is it. Here's my privilege. So gotta check it. Okay, so it's been checked. I just checked my privilege. There it is. You can see it. And then I want to use that. I want to use that to amplify their stories. So yeah. Imagine Fen sitting on this. It's pretty wild. I've been tossed out all my rage discs. Okay, so I'm sorry, but you're a blue check mark, which means that how many followers do you have? It's over 1,000 followers. I was just a big like I was about to put this person on blast, but then because when I put people on blast when they don't have a lot of followers and I want to stand by this principle, I understand I'm utilizing my platform and it could be in a negative way. That could have negative consequences on that other person. So I don't want to do it, even if they happen to be part of a group, let's say, that has a lot of power or privilege in society. So there's that. I speak very bluntly. Sometimes an asshole, not a good socializer. Working on that. Environmentalism, conservatism. Independent? Wow, interesting. But yeah, if you take offense to this, like, it's probably a bad sign. If a white guy says he has black friends and sits with them, this means I can get reparations? Again, super weird. Super weird that you're 53-year-old retiree. Super weird that you're taking offense to this. This is not an offensive statement. No lies detected. Good. Based. Well done, blue checkmark. Hashtag not all blue checkmarks. Are we applying this to Ukraine or what? So you think it's impossible to politely converse with someone to change your mind? Yes, share this with your leftist friends. Like, why are you all mad? Why are you all so angry? It's a very inoffensive statement. Unless you're a Nazi. It's an offensive statement to Nazis, you know? This seems to be happening a lot, by the way. People are kind of just revealing on socials and maybe coming to, like, they're having their own actualizations. They're on their journey, you know? They want to live their truth. They want to be seen, especially. So they're posting and being like, well, it's kind of offensive to me that you're being very mean to white supremacists. And I'm always like, why? Unless you're a white supremacist. Like, if you're a white supremacist, then you might take offense to me going real hard on white supremacists. Because I personally fucking hate white supremacists. I want to defeat white supremacists. Yes, they are my enemies. They are my fucking enemies. And so, like, I'm on a journey, let's just say. If you're one of them, then yeah, you might take a little offense to this. You know, I'm just virtue signaling so much right now. Like, you know, Dan Harmon had a whole bit on this where he just broke down, where he was just like, he was beside himself. He's like, I can't believe I have to say this out loud, but fuck Nazis. And I can't believe I never thought I would have to get to a point in my life where I have to say this out loud, but yeah, fuck Nazis. People post videos of like video games where Nazis are getting blown up, and then other people are like, kind of offensive. It's kind of, you know, little offensive for you to be posting this video of like, is this not a murder fantasy? Are you not like posting murder fantasies of blowing Nazis up in video games? Like, okay, so the other day this video game came out. Maybe I can see if I still have the trailer for it. It was basically about indigenous people killing Spanish conquistadors in a video game, which again, objectively, and a lot of people lost their minds to this, objectively, you would only find that to be offensive if you want to colonize people. Like, if you see video footage of a video game where it's indigenous people who are killing Spanish colonizers to save their families from being, like, raped, from being fucking murdered, from being burnt alive, and that's going to be the plot of the video game. And if you find that offensive, then you are on board with that project. Like, that's the only reason you would be like, racist against white people. Little racist, bit racist here. Who are the bad guys? Spanish white folk? Kind of racist if you ask. Like, motherfuckers. What? If someone has posted a video game and they're showing footage of people killing Nazis, or they're showing footage of people killing colonizers, unless you are in those groups, And unless you like think those things are okay, then why are you taking offense to this? Why is this insulting to you? Metal Gear Aztec, like, see, here's my thing. I don't like stealth. I don't have the patience. Maybe I'm just too ADHD brained. Like, whatever it is, I can't do stealth games. Like, I always fucking fuck up, and I've played through so many of them. I've put in my hours. Okay, I put in my hours despite having what I feel to be a near, like, maybe it is neurodivergence why I can't, like, you know, finish Metal Gear Solid games without getting so frustrated by aspects of them. So I like the ones where you get the two choices. Because see, I would just go on the killing spree. I would rather just be able to like take out an entire fucking, you know. But like, maybe that's just me. You're 100% stealth. See, no, I'm the goof. I'm just like guns blazing, running through the place. They're like, you know, my teammates are like, no, Lance, what the fuck? Why did you do that? They know we're here now. Hey, what up, Jeff? Good to see you. Jeff underscore Wardorf. Give him a follow back. I love doing hack and slash in the bait. Badass. Game looks badass. Absolutely badass. Now, 2.5K downvotes. Do you see the intersection, by the way, on a lot of these topics when I talk about them, where there's always this kind of, you know, duality of like patriarchy and white supremacy overlapping, and the same groups that seem to have all these weird hang-ups about queer folk also seem to be fucking stuck in their racist cycles over and over and over. Spanish should be tough officers and bosses, and you mostly fight the other Mesoamerican allies, no flintlocks. Cities need to be more colorful, like the Spaniard descriptions IRL. They were very vibrant. Finally, a game that isn't about Greece. One of the conquistadors coughs on you. It's game over. Oof. 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 Oh, wow. That sounds like a great idea. The animation mechanics look very weird, but since it's a work in progress, I'm optimistic. Looks like a fun game. Reminds me of Tomb Raider mixed with Assassin's Creed. This is what gaming needs so badly. New ideas, fresh experiences. I'm not saying I'm going to be amazed, but anything that steps down from the norm will always be on my watch. Conquistadors only comprise a small amount of the people who are fighting against the Aztecs due to years of Aztec brutality. Like, why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep doing, like, do you not understand that even if a group is fighting against that same group, there's a difference between that and another group coming over and then trying to exterminate them and or colonize them? There's that, like, it's not a justification for genocide or colonization or any of this kind of shit. Like, white people should not be offended by any of this. I'm being totally serious. White people, just like all people, are not intrinsically evil. They aren't. And so when people get offended by this kind of shit, when they see footage of this, it's because they somehow feel, whoa, this concept is all white people. Hashtag, not all white people. It's that moment in time where it's just like, whoa, wait, the white people are the bad guys, what? But we're all white people. No. You can be a white person who is against colonization. Because again, we're all people. All of us. We're just different variations of people. Like, that's the truth. Behind all of the fucking lies and white supremacy and all this shit. So yeah, if you get offended when you watch a video game trailer because all of a sudden it is indigenous people killing colonizers, well then maybe it's because you want to reinforce the idea of colonization. Because then you're like, oh, well, but see, my worldview is that this was civilizing them and this is how we made society great, and like, I kind of want their supremacy. Probably shouldn't have said that last part out loud, but now I'm just coming to some hard truths. Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. All right. You underestimate how many people think colonizers were the good guys. Well, see, that's the thing. To this day, Like, yeah, in the same way, by the way, it's weird that, like, maybe it's not surprising, but it's weird that racist ass white people do the same thing that they do to other categories or groups, and the same kind of imprinted, like, it's their worldview that, there are, like, race is a real thing, that certain people are just, like, genetically predisposed to certain things.
Clean up your room.
And yet you're doing that exact same thing towards white people. Like, the very idea that all white people are inherently colonizers is not true. All white people are not inherently slavers. All men are not inherently rapists. All men are not inherently brutal. Like, when you reinforce those same stereotypes, it's kind of doing this paint broadly on entire groups of people. And so you'll see this coming out of fucking sections of the right and the far right who want to, like, uphold this very, like, weird version of the world where it's like, oh, well, these are the colonizers. These are the evil versions of society we need to weed out. Yeah, no need to defend whiteness. That's it, right? That's it. Baby Crowder nerds angry about colonizer scum getting crushed. Yeah, I know. It's like, you should be against the ideas. You should be against the governments or the colonizers or blah, blah, blah. Not against groups of people, you know? Like, as soon as you do that, you're suddenly associating yourself with, like, well, I mean, this is the weirdest flip. It's actually, like, right now, I'm just like, as I say this out loud, I'm like, that's nuts that they're doing this. They're painting all white people, like, all of them, as being the exact same, as being, like, fucking, oh, well, this is just, like, intrinsic to whiteness or whatever. But you don't understand how you can't separate those two? Like, what, are all white people inherently slavers? Are all white people inherently fucking colonizers? Fuck no. What the fuck is wrong with, why would you say that? Like, that's weird. That's weird. So, and you want that to be, or exist in the real world. You're doing the same shit that you do to other categories. Wild.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
Thank you kindly to our Lord and Saviors Peyton L. Just and Xander Corvus. Without you, we are nothing. And now, a shout out to our Knights of the Square Table. Amazing Flesh, Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, DM Rivera, Doug Cady, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Izzy Solidarity, La Media Panza, Matthew Scarborough, Multimondi, Metal, Omni, Peanut Butter Blonde, Political Papi, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Kubi, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Dimmel, Thomas, Trevbot EXE, Lucidry, Words Greenwood, Cheryl Alvarez, Tony Perkins, Thomas, O'Pecker, Travis McClinton, and Victoria Bell. Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to all the other people who make this entire show possible. Without you, it would not exist. If you can support us, please go to patreon.com/theserfs, and even $1 can help unlock all of the little goodies and help make this show entirely possible.